I'm just gonna say you have, I think you said you had 4,500 maybe valuable. Yeah, 40 about
Yeah.
40. Yeah, a little bit over 40, about 4, like 4,600. Let's just say you sell another 600 worth of gold pieces.
Okay.
Just make it clean. You can, or that that 595. Just cut that off so you can get an even 4 grand. Um, you can do that. And then anything else you're buying, just in general, if
Um.
anybody, just as a outstanding thing to all the players, you can buy anything like basic. That's, I would say, if it's 20 or if it's more than 20 gold, just ask me first if it, just to make sure that they still have something. But if it's less than that, then whatever. Like
Okay,
ammunition, you can find any basic ammunition here easily with a
great.
respective price.
And would like buy the sunburst pendant, whoever that is. You remember? I asked you about that. If there's a guy around.
Yeah, let's just say there's a jeweler and you can find that. That's just whatever the cost of that is according to the
It's exactly 100 EPs worth. So
yeah, yeah.
you know,
You
praise
can
and
obtain
find.
that. I'm gonna say they have one right now, and she remarked that she can make another um, over a course of a few days, and typically likes to keep one in stock at least, and at one in stock
No,
at least
no,
one
that's
time.
fine. I'll just need one. But it has to be worth exactly 100 GP. It doesn't work otherwise.
I
It's
was like,
very specific
well,
magic.
this one I put my heart and soul into, worth 105. This bad luck.
Oh,
It's a
no.
shame.
Yep. But anyway, yeah, so he showed that to you. No big deal. Makes that
What is
comment to
it?
you in case you do want more of it. It's a pendant that he wanted for, I think, a spell component.
Yep,
Um,
exactly. And it's one of those where you need to buy the component once, and then you know, it doesn't get consumed by the casting. You just have to
yeah,
have it, and it has a gold cost.
that's actually kind of rare. It's in the game. Most of the things that have a numerical amount like associated with them, as far as you have to spend gold
Yeah, I
to
mean,
pick that spell.
identify.
Most of them, yeah, you're right about that. But many of them, I would say most
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than
you're
than
right.
not
It's like
are
most of the
consumed.
ones I can think of, like all the resurrection spells
Yep.
and find familiar or whatever.
Yep. Yep. They're all consumed. But yeah. Okay. I'll do that, and I'll assign that in a moment when we take a break before we leave.
I got medium and heavy armor in the pocket as well. If they can wear that.
They can't, so if you wanted to sell
Okay.
something, you can do that too. But yeah, they are not proficient in anything bigger than light armor. Um, yeah, they don't have any bolts for the light crossbows, but if you give it to them, I mean, they have it all the same.
I'm not giving the crossbows to them. I'm buying them for myself.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Stu said that giving them
Oh,
light
he's giving.
crossbows,
Oh, right. I didn't see that.
right.
Mhm.
But yeah, he can do that. Sure, they have their own arrows, and they
Well,
have
you
quite a
did
decent
say
supply.
any kind of bow, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
essentially
they
don't
can
worry
use
about
it.
ammunition.
They just don't have ammunition for that. They do have ammunition for the regular bows, the longbows they have, which are essentially better in many ways. In many ways. Anyway, going back to the story, the stores and shopping and shit. Um, where were you trying to go by the toy store or anything yet, Lucien? Or
Yeah. Was it over here? I assumed it was.
I think it's right
Yeah, that was-
here. I'm pretty sure. Let me just shell check. Areas of Valaki, and then there's a plate N6, and then N7. Now N7 is actually over here, so that's where the toy store is. N6 is where the store is. So I didn't know. I thought they were closer together, but let's just say in this, like right next to the coffin store, is the tailor. If you wanted to go buy the wedding dress,
I would probably go to the.
yeah, it would make more sense to go by the toy store first because it's closer by. And this is actually a place you've not gone into yet, like the party in general. So I'll read this really quick. This is for you. This cramped shop has a dark entrance portico, above which hangs a wooden sign shaped like a rocking horse, with a B engraved on both sides. Flanking the entrance are two arched lead-framed windows. Through the dirty glass, you can see jumbled displays of toys and hanging placards bearing the slogan, "Is no fun, is no Blinsky." A motto you've seen on tags before, on the toys you've come across in the
Aiden
past.
the Lucky.
That I took from the wine people's house. Like, didn't they have a toy from this place too?
Yeah, it's been in multiple times you've seen that tag and on multiple things. Or maybe even like engraved on the wooden rocking horse that you've come across in the past. So just in general, it's something you've seen many times. Let's say you walk inside behind the counter, kind of duck down, dusting something off. Doesn't notice you come in right away. Is a sort of portly, heavy-set man with a strange moth-eaten jester's cap on his head. It's not like in the best condition. Otherwise, you're wearing fairly typical garb, nothing out of the ordinary beyond the strange hat.
I want that hat.
We approach the counter, taking a look around. If there's any out of the ordinary or anything that he's trying to hide.
No, he just was putting something away or dusting something off. As soon as you come closer into the store, he's going to hear your footsteps and stand up with a straight, but quite quickly to, tend to a customer and says, actually, I'm going to have to do a Russian accent, so trying to think about how to word that in my brain.
Good evening, comrade.
Hello,
Yeah,
welcome
yeah.
to my shop.
Yes.
Do you
okay.
want potato?
Okay, I got it. I got it in my brain, roughly. He says, welcome to Blinsky's Toys. Is there anything I can help you?
Yes, there is. So, I heard you made this, and then I put the doll on the counter.
Ah, okay. He looks at it kind of surprised at first because you don't know exactly why, but it's something that kind of seems irregular to him. And he says, where did you
refunds.
get this?
I tell him, well, I was in the Baron's Manor, overthrowing the place, when I found a whole room of these, and I thought it was pretty creepy. So I'm gonna need you to do some explaining.
He kind of scratches at his neck nervously for a moment, trying to think about what exactly to say and how to say it. He says, you see, there was this man, Isaac, he kind of thinks on it. Isaac Strasny.
I slide him a couple gold
Oh, well, he wasn't.
to help his memory.
Yeah, he's like, doesn't really take it or not take it all the same. He's kind of like too focused on thinking. He's not a very quick-witted man. He says,
Hardball, are you? Some more gold.
he says Isaac Strasny. He was a man that I believe worked for the burgomaster, some like a kind of a big man, mean man. He wanted dolls made to look like a specific woman. I never met her. I don't know. He just gave me a description and he told me to make them. Kept paying for them, and he kind of leans back on his heels and rubs at his shoulder, again feeling kind of obviously like visibly distressed and visibly uncomfortable. He says, he threatened my store.
Really?
That's why I kept making it for him without charging him.
What did he threaten you with?
to burn it down.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I can't top
do
that.
I
Yeah.
recognize this Isaac guy as the big guy that Bjor fought in the yard for 10 hours or 10 minutes?
Yes, that's literally the same guy. Yeah, that
Oh, okay.
that correlates very well, and you're like thinking about it more in like the Burgomaster's mansion, and this guy's place being offset to the side of where the Burgomaster actually was, and all that. Like, okay, well, that kind of checks out, and it should check out in your brain as far as that would make sense architecturally and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That was the room that all the dolls were in was not the actual Burgomaster's room, so
Ah.
you know. And there were many of them. And another thing you can remember is they were all like progressively better, essentially. There were some there that were very crude and very basic, and just superficially, like looking like her, resembling her. But as they went on over time, they started to look dramatically closer to the real thing. But yeah, something he's gone on purely by an oral description. Like
Did this
secondhand.
guy ever tell him what he wanted him for? Or what his intentions were? His
He
inspiration?
says in response to your questions, he says, "I have no clue why he wanted them made. I just wanted to keep my store open. It's all I have." And with that, he like kind of pets the head of a kind of creepy looking doll.
Oh, great.
Was like sitting next to him on the counter.
Can I do an insight just because, I don't know, overall this guy is creepy. But it's a likely story because I know that guy was a dick, so.
Everyone in Barovia
Is he being evasive?
Yeah, everybody in Aurora is really creepy. And
Well,
as far as you
yeah.
can tell, he's telling the truth. And yeah, I'm just gonna actually want to describe some of the dolls in the store because it'd be funny. The one that he was actually like running a finger through was a doll that visibly has like a detachable heads, and there were multiple. There's multiple set up beside it of like different expressions and states of mind, and so they can be switched out for the user's entertainment, I suppose. But they're like not very pleasant looking at all. They're actually kind of terrifying.
Creepy.
Like one of them is
There's no doll. There's no doll in existence that does not look creepy.
True. But this one has like one of the heads has its eyes and mouth stitched shut. Another one is like no nose. Another one is like just like looks like it's like really sad. The other one is like an overly happy, like really large smile that's kind of too excited. It's an unpleasant toy. Another thing nearby is like a complete like gallows made of wood and everything. It's authentic. It's actually pretty high quality, well made, but it's unsettling and given the subject matter. And there's a straw hanged man hanging from a small like hemp rope tied to the top of it. Then there's some wooden nesting dolls, as you would expect in a Eastern European influenced country. But these ones, these are more like, they look like corpses, like they're kind of have their arms crossed over their chests, and they're more elongated so that rather than round and rotund, as they would typically be in our reality. And eventually it gets to the smallest one is like a mummified corpse. And rather than
These are children's toys?
they're intended for
Yeah,
them,
right.
Well, I mean, they're just flying right off the shelves.
And then like another thing over by like that was more toward the entrance of the store is like a mobile with bats hanging down from it rather than planets and such and that we'd
Okay.
expect. Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at this guy and I'm gonna be like, okay, I have a couple more questions for you, and then
I've
I'll
got
be
a
out of
few.
your hair. I mean,
Tell
I'm
me
very
about your
curious about a
childhood.
lot of this shit, but this place is. So I
Yeah.
think this was what you said we found at the Martikov or the Raven People's house.
Yeah.
Did you say that was like
in
a
one of the
demon?
rooms? Yeah.
Is that like a demon kind of thing?
It's as far as the script, the actual description would just be a horse with a fiery mane and tail.
Nightmare.
Yeah. I don't know if you would. It's like essentially. I don't know what to call it. I mean, look up what like a nightmare is. That's even in the game.
It's like is it a demon horse, pretty much?
Yeah, nightmares actually are in the game. Good. So what would it be called? A fiend. Okay. So then this is a fiend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
it's
gonna
a-
ask him. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh wait, no. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna ask him, why do you make all this demonic and creepy shit as I gesture around the room and like linger on the crib with a bats hanging from it?
Yeah, and he kind of just gives you a wry smile, disappointed that he would say that, but at the same time, proud of his work, so it doesn't really hurt too deeply.
Mm.
He just kind of smiles as he dusts off another thing nearby, and like very appreciative and proud of his work, and says, "Well, it's what my father taught me, and all I know. It's every man takes pride in something, right?" And yeah, that's all he really says.
Your father taught you how to make all this not creepy stuff? Okay.
Yeah, he nods very jubilantly, like, yeah, I learned from my father, who modeled himself after the great Fritz von Berg, a extremely talented inventor and toy maker, legendary to those of my craft.
Interesting. Okay. Well, be that as it may, I have a duty to the people, and I need to make sure that you don't have anything sketchy going on. And as I say this, I'm sure he can see all my weapons and shit on my belt, armor and stuff. I'm gonna just put I'm gonna put my gun, shield, sword. I'm gonna keep the sun sword because you can't really see that.
Right.
Whatever. But pretty much everything else, I'm just gonna leave it on a table, and I'm just gonna approach him open-handed, hands up. I just need to check, your shop to make sure you're not doing anything suspicious.
I was about to say, are you going to pat him down?
No,
he,
I just want to show I'm not trying to rob or kill him.
right.
I'm just trying
His expression kind of becomes a bit more from the wry smile into a sort of a frown. He's like, if that's what you have to do, I suppose you can do that. And he kind of just backs up into the door frame that leads into another room. Not with the intention of blocking you, just to rather give you all the space you want. And he says, "It's been a quiet day anyway, so do what you must."
Yeah, so I'll just go around the place looking through his stuff, not taking anything, just making sure he doesn't have any crawl spaces with bodies or skeletons in his closet,
Yep.
That are also
both literally or metaphorically.
Okay. I mean, that's how you do an investigation check if you're trying to find anything.
Yeah. I don't know what this guy, maybe this guy just has a really creepy family. I don't know.
But yeah, you don't find anything too suspicious. But the only thing that's kind of weird is a ventriloquist dummy, made of wood and all that. That
Real human
definitely-
teeth, you know?
that bears a resemblance of Strahd, but that isn't completely abnormal as far as not necessarily reverence for Strahd, but rather because they're essentially held captive by him. Some people have actually grown to like him because, hey, they
Yeah.
think
He's
if
like a
they're
Santa
nice to
Claus
him-
figure. He's mythologized in that sense.
It's also a bit of a Stockholm syndrome. Like he treats us nice. As long as we don't anger him, he won't beat us, kind of thing.
And I don't sense any like evil from anything in the shop. Or
No, in terms of like your instincts as a monster hunter or anything else, or even your true sight, you don't notice anything weird there. There's no illusions or whatnot either.
Okay. So I guess this guy is just some creepy guy, and I kind of like.
I
say
thought
that
he
out
was a
loud to
serial
myself.
killer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I like kind of talk to myself. I like go back to the front, like, huh. I thought you were some kind of murderer, but I guess you're just a really creepy guy. As I like put all my stuff back on.
He kind of just had that comment just sails completely over his head as if he didn't even care about it or didn't even digest it. And he kind of is watching you put your weapons back on your person and such, and asks, so it seems that you're the sort of man to travel across much of this land, even to some of the places that are a bit more dangerous.
I tell him, yep, everywhere from east, west, and south, but not north.
He says, it's not something that I can do myself, but I know that there is this invention from Von Verde, a man that's ran by gears and clockwork. Supposedly, it was gifted to Strahd in his home in Ravenloft. If you could obtain it and bring it here, I would be most appreciative. And in exchange, I would make you anything you'd want, without question. It's something I've been wanting to see my entire life now. It's only something I've read about, I've heard about.
I raise my eye, and I kind of look at him, and I'm like, I'll see what I can. We're going over Castle Ravenloft's way, so
Yeah.
maybe you just might get your wish.
Yeah, you can tell that definitely this guy, in spite of his tastes, he's actually extremely talented. Like, he's bordering on, not necessarily a savant, but his mechanical know-how and such is quite high. It's like better than the smith, who's like, in terms of, if you wanted this guy to do something that was more like an elaborate, close on a machine, this guy would be the sort to be able to create it, at least at some scale or another. Anyway, but yeah, he asked you to obtain that for him, and then beyond that, he will answer anything else you ask of him.
I guess I'll just ask him, have you noticed anybody in town that has dark rumors about him or any suspicious activity? If not, that's probably it.
Yeah, in front of that, he just says, most of the people in the town get along quite well, other than the rich folk, but they kind of keep to themselves, so...
Ever since
Doesn't
the
really
one
matter much
crazy
to me.
bard kept harassing them constantly.
Yeah. And they're good customers just like everybody else, so it doesn't bother me one bit.
Well, okay. Hope you have a good day. Enjoy your toys. Kind of side eyes all the stuff.
Yeah.
Just like tips his head, walks out.
He just waves goodbye and smiles. His unsettling smile, like big toothy grin.
And with that, we should head this way towards Coffin House. But
Okay.
and Taylor and Coffin House, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
But someone else. Go.
Yeah, and right as you leave the store, a monkey comes out of nowhere, like dressed in a tutu and closes the door behind you, as if it's like done that a million times before hopping up, like turning around and running up and hopping up on the guy's shoulder.
Wow.
As
I
he
know what I
watches you
want
go.
him to make me. I want one of those.
I want a pet monkey.
All right, so that is that. Let's go back to Michael. I'll just say, as far as you find if you find, or anybody else looking for it, you find the tailor and the dressmaker and such, and you can find a dress there for, let's just say, typically they're actually kind of expensive. So I'm gonna say,
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And they only wear them once. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say,
Yeah, right?
let's just say, it kind of makes sense in this world. I guess would be like 80 gold pieces. I would say would probably make sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
The
Yeah, it's like
scarcity
it's
of the
expensive,
material
but
and
you
the
still want
skill
people
and
in this
whatnot,
area to buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is of
Oh,
average
okay.
quality. Like there's stuff that's even nicer, and she offers this. It's ran by a woman. She offers to show you, or more, either make something nicer still, because she recognizes that you're wealthy, or to try to find something in the back. But she said this is the most common kind of design they have in this area.
I swear that every
I'll get him a nice one.
wedding dress store must be a front for like some organized crime, because there's no way they can sell those dresses at those prices.
Yeah, you think so?
I'll get him a nice one,
Yeah.
since I'm kind of college.
Okay. Then yeah, if you really wanted to buy like the best one that they can offer here, I'm gonna say like it's 100 gold.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, I'll gladly. That's easy.
It's not like a dramatic markup. It's just that it makes it even nicer in terms of like
It's a shame
Yeah, I'll buy
one's
that.
not there to model it for you.
yeah.
Well,
part of
I doubt
her-
you and that corpse would be the same size.
It's true, but part of her personality description says she loves to dress up, so
Oh.
missed an opportunity here.
That's true.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Technically, yeah. One in this person would have been different in size. The flesh golem woman was very, very tall, like unnaturally so, because she was stitched together with
Parts.
different parts. So it kind of meant that she had some like man parts on her, like legs and stuff. It was not entirely
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I still would like to head to the coffin shop after that, but that-
Oh. Okay.
yeah, I kind of want to hit some.
Okay. The last time you guys went there, you kind of were not terribly welcomed, but it was like more like, I'm busy. I like to keep to myself. Need anything? Go. Unless you need something, go away. But he would. I'm gonna. If you want to go there, it's fine. In terms of, he will listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, that's, I'll go there after Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, Michael isn't back yet, so I'll get to him in a moment. Everybody else, I think, is good to go, so I'll just keep going with this really quick. Yeah, you go to the coffin maker. It's ran by a guy named Henrik Vanderhort. Vanderhort, yeah. And yeah, he's a serious, quiet, solemn man that doesn't really like to talk to people. He's very quiet and serious.
No. We'll just go in there and I'll be like, so, I'm in need of your, I'm in need of a coffin. I heard you're the right guy to talk to about that.
And he just, he's like, well, that's what I do. How big? What are the dimensions?
Oh, about Strahd size.
Yeah, I
I
was.
assume you.
I had the same
limit.
thought when you were going there.
He gives you a long look for a time before kind of like squinting, wondering if you're serious or not, or what's your ultimate goal. But then he just kind of just turns around on his heel and starts walking, like expecting you to follow him.
Yeah, I'll
back to the back of the like, through the doorway of the entranceway, which is mostly just a couple different examples, but not a lot there. It's mostly
Right.
just meant to be done like initial visits, and then behind there is the storeroom where everything else is, and there actually is a map, so I can actually just move you there.
Oh.
Actually, I mean, I don't. But, well, it's only you there. No, whatever. We'll do it. Whatever. So let me find it in the list. So it's.
Oh,
the-
I think I remember the guy. I think I thought he was creepy, but we didn't find anything with our check.
Yeah. Okay. So, let me put you on the map here.
Hmm.
Okay. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then I will put you right here. And then, so yeah, you come in here, and this is the entrance way. You see, like this is where he does a lot of carpentry and such. And then you and him then go into the back, in this area here. And this is where a bunch of different coffins of various sizes and widths and such
Okay.
are at. And he eventually leads you to one that is one of the taller ones available, and says, well, if you were serious about your suggestion, then yes, this is about the right size of what you'd be looking for.
I asked him, "Can you engrave Strahd's name on it for me? You know,
He,
just to give it some personal flair."
He kind of again hesitates, again gives you a squint of like I would say a combination of frustration and irritation. Like he's just kind of he thinks you might be wasting his time, or at least he also might be getting him into danger, so all the same it's irritating. He says, I could do that, but I would have to charge you extra. That's
I give him-
not the safest thing to do.
I give him a couple gold. Say, money's no object. And as far as safety, you won't have to worry about Strahd. I intend to put this casket to very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
all
like the
the same,
equivalent
he-
of threatening a mobster. It doesn't really.
Let's just say he takes the gold, as you say, and then he says, well, for the entire coffin itself, let's say he kind of just does some calculations in his head, looking at you, also obviously adjusting the
Oh,
price.
did you get the shittiest quality one
Yeah.
as well? Like
I
rickety
know, I was
wood
trying to
and
get a nice one.
Yeah, from a visible standpoint, it is above average compared to the others in the room, but not the absolute nicest one. But the absolute nicest one wouldn't fit Strahd.
funnily enough, I imagine
Sure.
he's already got a coffin to sleep in. Strahd and all.
Well, this one's for him to die in,
Hey.
or
Yeah.
at least be a corpse in.
But yeah, he says, I'm trying to think of what would be. A coffin would cost more than a gown. Well, in reality, it's kind of all over the place. Let's just say, for everything done, if you wanted to take one of these, I can let you go with it for about 100 and, let's say, 40 gold pieces.
That's fair. And I give him all the gold.
Yeah, I feel really cheap about offering those guys a gold a day now. It's I must have really misunderstood how much a gold is worth.
It's a little cheap for kind of doing. It depends. Written in the thing, it would do guide duty for 5 gold a day. So asking them to look after for essentially 2 gold a day is a little cheap. But yeah, it's still fine because you talk down what you'd be asking them to do. But anyway, going back to the coffin, he says, yeah, let's just say 140 gold pieces, and you can take it with you now, or come pick it up later. He doesn't seem to care either way as far as his expression.
How much later? Get it by tonight?
And as long as you get here by sundown, the store will still be open. Otherwise, you'll have to pick it up tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be here at sundown.
I figured we were going to eviscerate or cremate any remains of Strahd.
Oh,
Maybe a bit of both.
yeah. I was kind of picturing, I don't know if you've seen Jeepers Creepers. Like at the end of one of, they like have the straight up, and you just walk with like the crossbow. I have to do that for a little. Instead.
Yeah, and you can like march it through the town. Be like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you, Strahn's dead."
I mean,
Yeah, no, I can dig it.
Yeah, I'll come pick it up at sundown. Got other stuff to do.
Okay. And he just kind of immediately walks past you back toward the entranceway, back through the storeroom and back to the kind of escorting you to the exit fairly quickly and not
I
too
ask him-
politely.
I ask him, does he have a bathroom here I can use? Or
Gotta take a massive shit.
I gotta take a shit real quick. I haven't, seen a toilet in 5 days. Been wiping with fleas.
does he have like
Couple
an
months, actually.
Does he have like an outhouse in the shape of a coffin? That would be kind of.
He says in response to that question, he says, "This isn't that sort of establishment. If you need that kind of help, you could head to the inn. It's not too far from here for someone of
Slide.
your."
I flash him 10 gold and say, "Are you sure I can't just use it here? I hate
I
public."
really need to go.
Roll con to keep it in.
He says, "I don't have a chamber pot here. I just will go to."
You soil yourself?
Yeah.
No.
Normally in that kind of
No.
environment, they'll like shit
Go
right out the
out.
window and throw it out in the
There's
streets.
some privacy to the just outside, and he kind of points like a southwesterly direction. There's some trees over there. Works well enough.
Okay. Odd. Just like you. But okay, cool. I'll go find somewhere else. As I...
We really need to know where
Out
does
of
Lucian take
character.
his shit.
What are you trying to do? Are you really just
I
trying
was
to
just
take a
trying to
shit?
search his... No, I was gonna search his house. Just kind of look at stuff. If he lets me
Okay.
wander
I was
around the
about to
house.
say. Like, what is the end game here?
Yeah, but
It was just to look around at this creepy guy's
I thought you were trying to take a shit in the coffin at first. At some point.
no, I knew what he was trying to do immediately when he was asking if I could look around. He wanted to like, this guy's kind of weird and rude
Yeah.
and all that. Like, what is he up to anything weird? It's just like
Yeah.
a house guy essentially.
That was the angle.
Oh man, my cheeks hurt so much right now.
Yeah, that could have gone in many weird places. But okay, let's go back into the Smith. Is
That's.
there any specific requests you got, Michael, for anything?
I mean, what does he have? I don't need anything like simple, like anything like +1 magical items. Does he still have that javelin? I know he was working on that rifle with the scope for Bjorn.
Yeah, the
Or I
things are.
assume he never
Yeah,
picked it up.
I think I called it like a vicious musket. I can't remember exactly what I gave it, all the properties I gave it, but something good. The musket is done, and so is the the lightning
You
javelin.
gave it the shooting range of the sight of the scope, I believe.
Yeah, I gave it better range, and I gave it like better criticals. essentially.
Oh, my dexterity's shit, so I don't need the rifle.
Yeah, and you're also not proficient in it.
That's true. So yeah, I guess the only thing is the javelin. How much is that gonna cost me?
I think we were saying it was 100 and something, but I'm gonna say because I want to err on the side of caution, I'm gonna say like at least 180 to 200.
Okay. Well. It's not bad at all. I've got 1,119 gold since Cole said we all got 425 gold each.
Yep. Yep.
I'm gonna ask him. Yeah, say that. Javelin. Do you want to play for?
Oh
Round 2.
gosh, nearly two separate characters. Pretty funny.
You gotta arm
He
wrestle
said-
him
We're not
again.
gonna arm wrestle. We're just gonna sit down and play some cards.
Okay, interesting.
I so want
He
him to
says-
win again.
What is with you and the adventurers trying to play for this thing? And he just takes it off the table.
It's
I
because
don't-
they're
I
not
have
very
no idea
good
what
at
you're talking
bartering. You know. They're-
Brings it over the counter and like he's been showing it to you already, and he's like kind of takes it from you and runs. Sorry, I got something in my mouth.
So I'm sorry. So is everyone who wanted to go to the Smith are there? Like me and.
Yeah, anybody that wants to be
Yeah.
can be there.
Okay.
But Michael's the one I'm talking to him at the moment.
Yeah, unless there's
So
other
let me
side
know
stuff
if
you want to
anybody
take care
wants
of.
to be there.
I'll be there too after the coffee. Please.
Okay.
Join
Yeah,
me.
you'll be arriving after some of this conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, then he says, yeah, what we would be playing. What exactly? He didn't know that you would be playing for cards. That you haven't said that. to him.
Yeah, you ever heard of this game? It's called, hold on. Think of it.
Tieflings Holden.
Poker.
Holden. Not Texas Holden. Tieflings.
Yeah, they do play poker, but you can call it a fancy name or something.
High stakes baccarat. In luck.
You ever heard of Waterdeep?
He says, yes, it's sort of the standard around here, for the most part.
I wouldn't play such a despicable
And
game.
he says, he kind of like then agrees to sit down with you at a table. And he said, depending on what you're willing to bet, we can I'll either put the whole thing for grabs or a deal, like a discount.
So Cole's there with all our loot we can't sell, right? Is there anything in there he'd think is equivalent?
Sure, I mean, you can. It would have to be like, I mean, equal to the value
Yeah,
of the thing. Let's
exactly.
just say the
Equal or greater. Because if I go equal, I might as well just buy the thing. But if I go greater than, I'm putting in more money than it's worth.
right.
It's losing it. And yeah, I could just buy it later. So you said like 180 to 200. I'll put down 250.
Wow. Okay. He's kind of surprised by this. Like, interesting. You're very kind of. I don't know what the word he would use. Aggressive man. You don't look at any kind of like gives you a once over, because you really don't. You actually look kind of more reserved and serious than like Bjorish.
Yeah, I just give
Um,
him this. Like, I just stare at him blankly, like, are we gonna play or not?
Yeah. Then yeah, and then I think the rules we were running by was intimidation, persuasion, and one other thing.
Okay. I tap
Sleight
Michael
of
and
hand.
tap Michael on the shoulder and say, just remember what happened to Bior, and I hand you an inspiration.
Yeah, sure. I'll let you be there and I'll let you do that. That's fine. And then yeah, it was where was it
Is it
again?
deception, intimidation?
Yeah, I'm checking really quick. It was
Insight, perception.
Insight, deception, intimidation. You need 3 rolls and you need to beat the DC of whatever. The DC is based on the value of the gold, so it'll be interesting.
Alright, so it was insight, intimidation, deception.
Yep. So, 1 thing's wisdom, 2 things charisma. Okay.
Ooh. 1d8 if you're interested.
Yeah, if you want to add a D8 to anything, go ahead
Well,
and
we
roll.
also
it.
add the D8 to the intimidation.
Yep.
Alright, so 16, 10, 12.
Yep. Actually, yeah, these 16, 13, and 12. Or 16, 17, and 8. Whatever you
Oh,
want to
yeah, sorry, 16, 13, 12. You're right.
Alright, rolling some things. So 16, 13, 12. Unfortunately, you lose 2, so you lose half the money you bet or of similar value, whatever you want to do there. So you'd have to, let's just say you then have to pay either a premium for the javelin or you lose half your money.
Yeah, let's do the premium.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's kind of I'm big generous, but I want to make it a bit more interesting than just taking.
He
away.
won
let's,
again!
let's just say I lose the 250 and pay another 50 for the javelin because I lost.
We cannot
Okay.
beat this
Yeah,
man.
if you want to do that, that's
Minus-
you're
minus
paying
the
like
gap.
essentially twice as much, but I like that. I mean, you get
Yeah.
my respect for doing it. Hell, I even give you player inspiration for that because I really respect your commitment.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, 300 gold, which is again quite a premium for Javelin Lightning. You have it, the infamous, now very infamous Javelin of Lightning. Yep.
The betting box.
He still has his prized possession, the sniper rifle, up in the back, like on a cabinet, like in the back.
Mm.
Very
I was
much.
just thinking, I don't know where we would ever use that at.
I mean, besides a gift for Bior when we meet him again. I mean,
Yeah, when you're and that would be an interesting idea, but it's not something you guys don't really run into very long range situations, and he would be betting on getting critical. It's just sex appeal more than anything. It's a very cool weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, it does sound really cool. Kind of want it on that basis, but
I'll have to think about like maybe changing the stuff about it. I just was being apprehensive of making anything too good, and it definitely not going to make it like a +1 weapon that just makes everything, every bullet.
I mean, if we do the mechanic, the toy mechanicus,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
thing, you can make it into like a clockwork rifle.
that's a good idea. I
Yeah.
actually might. Now that
Yeah.
you mention,
That would be kind of a weird. That would be an interesting idea. That I would let you do that if you went about it that way. You could be like make essentially a double barrel, sort of thing, or maybe it would like have 2 shots before I had to reload.
no,
I
I
don't know.
thought
I'm
was
just
to
trying to
mount
think
it
about
at the back of the wagon, but yeah.
Any number of things, but yeah. Anyway, that's just anything else you guys want to do in terms of shopping or
how
whatever.
much was the rifle again?
Oh man, that was way more expensive by comparison.
I think it was like 1,000 gold or something along
because-
there.
Well, we have our own spyglass, right? Can I just
Yeah,
get them-
spyglasses themselves. I mean, why would you? I mean, yeah, I guess you're trading. You would
Yeah.
just essentially subtract the spyglass from the price.
Yeah.
But you're still
Pretty
paying for
much.
the musket and the labor. So I need
Yeah.
to look at everything really quickly.
Because I'm like, we have a musket or a spyglass, and unless someone else wants it, I can.
I didn't know we had 2 spyglasses because you gave them one for the actual rifle. So
Right.
yeah, spyglasses cost 1,000 gold pieces, which is why they're valuable. That's really expensive. So yeah, you would knock 1,000 off of it, and then I would have to look at the actual cost of a musket, which I have in my own little thing, which is on firearms. They are 500 gold pieces, and then labor, I would say at least another 250, so 1,750.
I mean, yeah, if I can give him a spyglass to knock off 1,000, I'll pay him the 750 for it.
Okay. Then yeah, you can do that. You would have to give up your if you have a spare spyglass, which I believe you. I'm just surprised that we ever came across a second one.
Saw it in the party pocket, so I assume we still have it. for that.
Yeah, I just gotta. Yeah.
Whoa, what the hell?
Wow.
You broke it immediately.
Yeah, I'm just making sure it works in
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that, oh my
that's
god,
Good that you.
poke my own eye out.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Anyway,
established that a double
Yeah.
critical one was like a injury of some kind. I mean,
Yeah, poke
It
my
would
own
be,
eye.
but if it wasn't a test, he's very lucky it was a test. In real life, that would be hilariously bad. He like throws it into the fucking lake, and he's just like, "Oh well, there goes all that money." Anyway,
yeah, you
can have
threw the javelin and
that's
it
good
just
for
went right up
750.
into the sky and never came down. It's like-
Cool. So I have the sniper rifle.
Yeah, let me give you its properties really quick. At least the properties I know it has. I know I made its range better. So let me look.
And I'm thinking, like, if you're in like a large room or something, you could like hang back. Well, that's not your character, but starting around and they're like far off, just pull it out. And
Yeah, just give him a couple.
So yeah, I'm gonna give it a range adjustment, and it's gonna have better criticals. So I'm gonna give it four different things. So minimum range, not well, you know what I mean, optimal range, all that.
Before disadvantage comes in.
what else to say since it has a scope? Anything within like 10, 15, or 20 feet, you have disadvantage.
That would make sense.
I don't know if you played FPSs, but trying to snipe someone when they're that close might
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. I'm gonna give it as a penalty, a minimum range.
No quick scoping at D&D.
I mean, I'm sure you could do a 360 no scope in D&D. You just have to roll very good.
Natural 20, yeah.
All right, so I think I might actually make that optimal range a bit better because if I give it a penalty. So it
Well,
would
we're
go-
not going to
it would
use it
be-
right now, so you've got plenty of time to think about it. It's,
No, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually gonna change that to 30. So there we go. The second thing I said is what it is. So that'd be 60 meters optimal range. So it just has essentially double the range I normally would, almost. Anyway, and it criticals on 19s as well. So with that being done and all that being taken care of,
Well, Michael, are you going to test the rifle for us too?
I
Yeah,
hope
it's,
not.
it's not. I
Shoot
look down
some
the
old
barrel,
lady.
check
you know.
to see if there's anything in there, and then
Yeah.
shot in the face.
Goes on
Dead.
spontaneously. Yep, Michael dead. End of campaign. Alright, so let's now go back to Barovia, the country.
I don't understand. What are we doing?
We're going back to the countryside, to the main map, world map.
I wasn't finished with the blacksmith or my business there, but okay.
Oh, I thought we were. Go right ahead.
I mean, I haven't
so
even talked to
to-
Eric yet. I had business with the blacksmith. I
Oh,
don't know
yeah.
if
Oh
anyone else.
yeah, I was just surprised you were doing that. I forgot all about that, to be honest. I forgot all about Eric because we were doing many other things, and I thought that you were going to do that first. But you're right. Go right ahead.
Okay. so
You are right now at the
blacksmiths.
Smith.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So I described to him I want the custom sword making. I gave you that description before about being able to cast heat metal on the sword and not have it damage me, basically.
Right. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did talk about that. Yeah, that's totally a thing that I was okay with.
Hmm.
I remember thinking that was pretty cool.
So I
Um,
basically describe what I want. It's like I want to use heat metal on the sword, but not get hurt myself. Is there any way you could make that?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think very specifically about the properties of. I'll have to think about my properties later. But he says, as far as what he said to you to respond to the question, yes, that he can make that. That would not be an issue whatsoever. You would need, let's just say, what's a reasonable amount of time?
How long does it normally make a sword? Time to make a sword?
I mean, in real life, it's going to be a lot longer than what I'm going to make it here.
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
definitely
say-
extra time. But I'm saying how long usually is a sword?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to apply RPG rules to this. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 2 days. Starting from right now, it would be like this time plus 2 days.
That's not bad. That's perfectly reasonable. Okay.
It could you and essentially you'd be able to get it before your fight, which is fine.
And I
With-
say, how much do you reckon that would cost?
can make that. What kind of sword is it? Like that?
Yeah,
matters.
rapier style.
Rapier style. Okay. And look at it. Rapiers normally 25 gold pieces. I'm just gonna say I'm doubling that. Just say 50 gold pieces.
Yes. Also, I want the silver upgrade to it if that's possible. But
Okay.
yeah.
Well then add another 100 on top of that, so
Yeah.
150.
100. That is very reasonable for what I'm trying to do here. But okay, that's yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't seem too complicated. We haven't really discussed the exact properties of what it will be, but I will get back to you on that. But yes, 150 total gold pieces for this item. It'll be a
Aye.
silvered rapier with a fancy
Yeah.
sort
I-
of handle.
I give him the gold and I like ask for a receipt to come back for it when it's ready. So
Yeah, he writes down something on a piece of parchment with like his like an initial as well as a symbol that looks like the what's signifying the smith outside, like on the sign. So you can remember, and it has a date indicating 2 days from this point.
Okay.
Just come see him by sundown 2 days from now.
Okay. Definitely be there. It's not going to be like that rifle that's been on your shelf for ages.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you pay for it.
before we leave, guys, I've got one more unfinished business to do. I need to meet up with Eric and ask him a couple of difficult questions. I don't know if any of you want to come with me or.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to miss that.
Okay.
I'm gonna put one and at least Darius over at Eric Keeper's house. Anybody else going over to Eric Keeper's house?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
I already did all my.
Are you going Cole?
I'm gonna be at the church once I get things sold, or the most things I can sell. I'm gonna hang out at the church and just craft.
Yep.
Um,
That's what you typically
since
do.
one's weapon is gonna take 2 days, I'll like to spend 2 days here in town and craft.
Yeah,
I don't think we
well,
were
yeah,
staying here for 2 days, but sure.
Right. Yeah, we're not gonna be staying here for 2 days exactly, but you're gonna have time to craft all the same. So
Sure.
there's definitely gonna be downtime.
Yeah,
so
we're going
anyway,
to spend
let
the
me go over
night
to
here,
Eric's.
sure.
It's not quite nighttime here yet. It's right now. It would probably be like let's say 4 p.m. 4 p.m.
Okay. So at Eric's place, and I knock on the door,
Yep.
and wait expectantly. It's like,
Yep. And you don't hear like a call out or anything. You know, he's always been kind of a polite person.
I
Given his
roll
profession.
I roll performance and pretend to be a guard busting him. Said, "Open up! This is a raid." He knows it's me.
Terrible. he knows it's you. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, hold on, hold on. And he's like,
One?
You're-
Who is one?
you know. You hear him putting down some things and whatever, just typical knowledge. And then he opens the door and has this warm smile on his face and welcomes you inside, as well as any others that want to join you.